So I come across this Madison Beer. I didn't know a lot about her. I was saying her name wrong until Deli, who's young and, with the times, decided to correct me. She's 23 years old. She's a singer. She actually posted her music at one point on YouTube, and Justin Bieber had linked to one of her songs. That's how she became famous. And she's on this podcast interview, and she gets asked, of course, about sexism and misogyny. So let's take a listen at 11:08.
This conversation would be like if I was a man.
What kind of everyday sexism do you still come up against as well?
I mean, a lot of people still to this day will try to discredit my music or my talents or my abilities by just being like, oh, she's just a pretty face or whatever that is. And I feel like that wouldn't be a conversation if I was a man. And it does feel misogynistic. It reads to me very misogynistic when people still to this day are like, what does she do? Isn't she just an influencer? I'm just like, I don't know what to do at this point. And that's also why I stopped really caring so much about those comments, because I'm just
we can pause it there. So again, misogyny, that's not what misogyny means. Misogyny means that it's a hatred of women. It's a deep dislike, hatred of women. So you can't just throw that word out. And I know the modern left likes to throw out the words, misogynist, sexist, racist, misinformation, whatever word of the moment. They can label you as pick me. You're a pick me. We did that one the other day. It's just a word vomit, right? They do this because they want to try to discredit you with a label because they're afraid to debate you in terms of the actual context of what you're saying, because they don't have a good argument to be made. So it's interesting because she seems to have an issue with people who say that her looks have played some role in her success. Now she's a very attractive girl. So I ask her, do you think your looks played no role at all in your success? I think that would be incredibly naive and ridiculous. Of course, your looks were an asset to your success. It's a visual medium. It's a visual industry. It's an industry that, prizes youth in many respects, beauty when it comes to women. This is not rocket science to figure out. So it's interesting to me because she seems to have taken offense to that, don't judge me by my looks. Why do you make it about looks? So I went to her Instagram. Yes, I did. I did a little investigative work. I just want to pull up some of her Instagram. This is her Instagram. This is what she's, okay. So this is a video on her Instagram. We can play it. I mean, this is, I don't know. This has some type of filter, something going on there. But regardless, this is her obviously masquerading that she is a pretty girl. She has the gift of genes. She just is genetically blessed in many respects. I don't know how much of it is genes, how much of it is whatever. I know people are going to say, oh, but she did this. I don't know what she did to her face. But regardless, pretty girl, attractive. I think that's pretty objectively obvious to everyone. And she there has it on display. Let's look at another Instagram post. We can just go down the list on these, Deli, if you want. Okay, this is a picture, I think, showcasing her body, her beauty. Okay, let's go to the next. I put a few in here. Here we go. Okay, now, last I checked, she wasn't in a turtleneck with no makeup and a hood reading, Shakespeare on her Instagram, right? So she's showcasing, again, this is a sexy photo. She's showcasing her sex appeal. And we can do the last one as well. I think I put one more. Okay. So listen, honey, you can't speak, from both sides of your mouth. You clearly know. Also interesting to me. Can I just do a side note here? She looks a little different in the Instagram pictures than in the interview. A little, it would be hard to do a side by side, but if you put a side by side of say that photo and her in the, podcast interview, I had to do a double take, is this the same girl? Which just goes to show you how women embellish on these social media outlets as well. I had this conversation with Art of Kicks the other day talking about how, it used to be fake eyelashes and, a little hair extensions. And now it's filtered, photoshopped. I don't know what's going on Instagram anymore, but sometimes you see those people in real life and you're like, that's not you. You know, so she looks different. She does look different. Not to say she's not an attractive girl in both settings, because I believe that she is. So it's not like I'm putting her down. I'm just simply calling out the medium for what it is. You can't just take Instagram at face value. These photos have been doctored in many ways. But she's choosing to put her physical beauty out there front and center. She's very clearly proud of what she looks like. She very clearly understands that she is making money off of that physical appearance. She very clearly understands that some of her success is due, a lot of her success is due to the fact that she has this canvas, right? And it will draw a lot of interest from women who want to look like her and buy maybe a product that she endorses, and men who want to date her and slide into those DMs if they can. That's just a reality of the world. So I don't mind that, because that is just reality, right? People look like what they look like. People have certain advantages over others. It is what it is. So fine. What I do mind is that then she'll come out and in the same breath, like put all that out there on Instagram and then be like, oh, I hate when people just assume it's like my looks that are, if your looks played no role, you wouldn't be showcasing like that, honey. You would be sitting with no makeup on, with a hoodie, reading Shakespeare to us, because maybe, I don't know, we could get smarter by looking at your Instagram. So let's not be deluded and let's not deceive. I don't like that. I don't like delusional women, and I don't like deceptive women. That's where I draw my line. If you want to watch the full episode, you're going to click right here. And if you want to ask me a question one-on-one, you want to do a one-on-one FaceTime with a group of your friends, whatever you want, you need to download Connect right now. Click right here and let's get talking.